Hi, I'm Shane Schick, Editor-in-Chief of IT World Canada, and I'm standing in the corporate campus of Microsoft. This is where the world's largest software company makes some of the biggest decisions about its future. And a great deal about that future revolves around the concept of the natural user interface. I spoke to some of its executives about what it's going to mean for the future of the company and the future of the IT department.
In fact, I would argue that all the way back to the introduction of the PC, that it sort of tended to be the decision of individuals to make the decision to take on a new technology. In fact, I believe it's always been that way, or certainly since the PC was introduced, it's been that way. Even then, people bought them for work applications, but the IT department didn't buy them, the individual did. So I tend to think that we're still in a mode where the individual is the one who is essentially making the election to buy a new generation of technology. And now they can essentially buy it motivated for either business purposes or, their private, consumptive or creative interests. And so, but given that, we may see the natural interface introduced first for gaming and entertainment. But I think, one of the places that it will certainly find application is going to be in the communications domain. When people, for example, want to do telepresence, the same kind of capability that might allow you to take a Natal type camera and put yourself in or animate a character in a game may turn out to be a way that you'll essentially manipulate things in a video conference or even project yourself into some other environment for those kind of purposes. So I think that's one application of it. If we were down the hall in my conference room, I've got a big wall about like that, except that it's all an active display, and it's got cameras that see through the thing, and you can touch anywhere, and you can take pens and draw on it any place. So it's essentially a big. The room in my case is a room that has the walls are just giant displays. And I think we're going to see more and more of that coming. So then the ability to manipulate things on the giant display, which could be on either the horizontal surface or the vertical surface, will depend a lot more on this natural user interface model. One of the first things that happened when we built the big giant displays was we realized nobody had ever really designed application interfaces where the computer was bigger than the person. And it became very obvious because we were doing one where you wanted to write, so you come down here, you want to write there, and you take the pen and say, I want the red pen. And say, you run down to that end over there, that's where the little pen selector is, and you pick the red pen, you run back over here, and you write, and you realize, we always assumed that the person, or their ability to move the mouse was way bigger than the screen. But when the screen gets way bigger than the person, the whole model of how you want to do that changes. So I think all of these things will beget the use of natural user interface models as opposed to giant scale pointing and clicking models as a way for you to interact with things. And as we get more and more displays of large size, gesturing will be an important part of how you move things around. You'll take something here and you flip it up there to put it on the wall.